So last time we started section P.1, and we were looking at real numbers and their properties, and we had left off talking about order of operations, yeah? So we had reminded ourselves of this order of operations. I talked about the fact that the M and the D for multiplication and division does not mean you have to multiply before you divide. It actually means you can multiply or divide. It doesn't matter, you're just moving left to right. Same thing for the addition and subtraction. And we're on number 11. So when we're working with order of operations, we always work inside the parentheses first, unless there's nothing that can be simplified inside the parentheses. And this is an example of one of those problems. So I can't combine the 4 and the 2x, they're not alike. One of them is attached with a variable, the other one's not. So there's nothing I can simplify within the set of parentheses. So there's nothing there. The e and exponents, I don't have any exponents in this problem yet. In fact, we're going to start talking about those in section P.2. So I don't need any exponents. So I'm looking now for multiplication and division. The parentheses do indicate that there's multiplication going on here, and so that's where I'm going to land as my actual first step. So this is one of the properties we talked about last time. It's called the distributive property. And we're going to simply multiply through. Now, when you multiply through on the second step, make sure you recognize you're multiplying through with a -2, not just the 2. The sign goes along with it. So on the first set, 4 times 5 is 20. And then 5 times -2x is, negative 10x. And then on the second set, I have -2 times x, so that gives me -2x. And I have -2 times -5 giving me +10. Okay? And now we're going to combine like terms, moving from left to right and so on, making sure that the sign stays attached to the term that it's with. So as I'm looking at the 20 and the +10 go together, so that's going to be 30. And then this is a -10x and a -2x, so they're both negative. So what do you get when you combine those? Yep, -12x. And again, I can't combine the 30 and the -12 because the -12 is being multiplied by the x, so they aren't like terms. All right. One more example in this section is about, it's still an order of operations problem, but it starts out a little bit differently. It asks us to evaluate. So when we're evaluating means taking a value and plugging it in for a variable or substituting it in for a variable and then simplifying after that. So we're actually going to be starting with that particular step. So my A is -2, my B is -3, and my C is 0. So if A is -2, I have -2 squared. And then I have a subtraction sign for B, and B is -3, so inside parentheses I put my -3. C is 0. Zeros are really wonderful and friendly for the most part because they just cancel everything out. It's fun stuff. And then in the denominator, I have another A, which is -2. So here at the end of this problem, so to speak, all of this becomes 0, right? Because there's multiplication by 0. So all I really have is the -2 squared at the beginning and the -2 on bottom. So there's lots of things you could do. One is that you could recognize, like we talked about last time, that this is really just -2 times -2 on top. And one of those -2's could cancel with a -2 on bottom. You could do that. Or you could actually multiply the -2 times -2 on top, and that's okay too. That's probably what I would be inclined to do if I saw it myself. -2 times -2 is 4. Thank you. So, and then 4 divided by -2 would be, -2, right? Yeah, -2. If you wanted to think about it as canceling these out, you can see how you would also get a -2, right? So just a different perspective on the problem. All right, did everybody get the sign-in sheet? Okay. Sorry, I have to turn it around to make sure I get it. Okay, I think we might need to talk about the sign-in sheet. Anyway, any questions on these? Okay.